Hi and welcome to Distilling in Australia. My name is Nick and this is video number 33, part 3 of my liquor license application process. I'm going to keep this relatively short, hopefully for this video, and just give you a quick update of what's been going on. But as always, here is 5 seconds of your life you'll never get back. Okay. So as you're aware, I lodged my application in around about the 21st, 22nd of March, somewhere around about there. And they took the money out of my bank account on the 24th of March for my National Police check and for the application for my liquor license. And I received a response on the 21st of April. So that just gives you a bit of a timescale how long it has taken. Response came via email, which is how I nominated to be contacted, so that was fine. So what they did is they sent me just an overview of what's going on, and it says, "Good afternoon, Nick," which is very casual and quite polite. I quite like that. And I said, "I refer to your application for a commercial other subsidiary on-premise license lodged in respect to the above premises." Now, for those of you who have been watching the series, and this might be the first time, this is a series of videos covering my journey into becoming a legal and licensed distilling operation. Now, this garage where I'm sitting here is actually a licensed distillery under the ATO. So I have an ATO license to manufacture alcohol on these premises. So this is all legal. But the next step, or the final step I should say, is now to get my liquor license so I can then sell it. So it's one thing having the ability to manufacture, it's a totally different one to be able to sell it. So you need to be aware of the two different licenses that you require. So if you haven't seen those videos, go back and watch them, and you can see the progress of how we're going through. But anyway, back to this. So what they've done is they've attached what's called a set-down letter. Now, I didn't know that we were going to get a set-down letter, but that's what you get. So it's sort of like a warning, I suppose, of the conditions that are going to be imposed on your license if they approve it. Now, this is by no means saying that my license has been approved. It's just saying if it is approved, these are going to be the conditions on your license. So the point they made here is that it also requested please forward a risk assessment management plan, or RAMP, R-A-M-P, as this type of license is not considered low risk. So even though in my application I made it very clear that the distillery is never going to be open to the public, so therefore I assumed it was a low risk. It was the application type that is not a low risk. If you're going to go for your artisan license in Queensland, just do your RAMP, okay? And look, Queensland Hotel Association, fantastic, okay? So can't thank them enough for what they've done and the assistance they've given me in relation to this process. And that's where I got my responsible management of a licensed venue qualification through the Queensland Hotel Association. And so yes, if you're going down this track, highly recommend you go and talk to them. And no, I don't get anything back from them. Okay, so the set down letter, it just says, I refer to your application for a commercial other subsidiary on premises artisan producer's license. They've asked me to confirm that if there's any on-premises consumption of liquor currently happening, which of course there's not. And they're saying these are going to be the following conditions if it's approved. So liquor, it says here, condition number 1, liquor may be sold or supplied only whilst the premises adheres to its principal activity of the production and sale on the licensed premises of artisan spirits made on the licensed premises in an amount of greater than 400 litres but less than 450,000 litres in each financial year. Fair enough, that's what an artisan license is, so they're the conditions. Condition number 2, it says that the licensee may sell craft beer and or artisan spirits produced by the licensee on the licensed premises to persons at promotional events for consumption at the event for the purpose of sampling or for consumption away from the event. So I did actually put in my application that I wanted to be able to go to promotional events and sell. And so they've said you can, and you can serve it as a sample only with the intent of people taking it away to consume. So it's not to be sold, to be consumed at the event. The third point is noise emanating from the premises, including amplified and or non-amplified noise and or patron noise, may not exceed 75 decibels, fast response when measured approximately 3 meters away from the primary source of the noise. So again, it all comes down to not having an impact on your neighbours, and that's fair enough. I've worked hard to ensure that that is actually in fact going to be the case. And it also says here that I can within 14 days object to those conditions, which of course I'm not going to, because I'm fine with all those conditions. None of those are critical to me, or they're all part and parcel of what I want to do anyway, so that was good. Comments from the police district officer is going to be sought, so you're going to go to the local police and say, well, here's the application, is there anything we need to worry about in relation to operating this? And of course, in my ramp, which I'll get to in a second, I point that out, that it's not going to be an issue for neighbours. And then a telephone number if I require any clarification. So all in all, it's just very straightforward, very basic. I've had no problems with the OLGR, and what they're requesting of me is, as far as I'm concerned, quite reasonable. So that's where I've got to with the letter. Now, risk assessment management plan. I've done my risk assessment management plan. Now, again, if you go to the Queensland Hotel Association and do your RMLV through that, you do get a template for this, which is very helpful, okay? But it just starts off with your mission statement, what your intent, what your hours are going to be. Now, this is basically the legal framework on which you can operate your distillery. So if you say this is what you're going to do, this is what you have to do. So you don't put anything on your ramp that you're not actually going to do. So it's important that you make sure that your ramp is actually consistent with your operation, and all your staff need to be able to have read this ramp and know what their rights and obligations are under your particular license. So it covers the mission statement, your hours, a liquor accord. Now, a liquor accord is a local group of licensed premises that get together and discuss issues that might be happening in the region. It's a great source of information, and just to keep you abreast of any issues that might be happening in your particular geographical location. Lighting, so that's just make sure you've got applicable and appropriate lighting. Noise mitigation, so how you're going to control your noise. Security, how you're going to control your security, are you going to have security personnel, all those sorts of things. Transport for your patrons, do you need to have identifiable transport for your patrons? Are you going to provide a courtesy bus, those sorts of things. In-house dining, so details about that. Of course, I have none of that, so I don't have to worry about it. Your RSA, Responsible Service of Alcohol, so all staff have to have their RSA and be aware of your obligations, etc., etc. Dealing with minors, dealing with intoxicated persons, impact on amenity of surrounding areas. So what are you going to, what impact you're going to have on your neighbours, which of course for me is nil. And consultation with community groups, just to show that you're willing to talk to police and council and local communities about any issues that might arise. Now, because I'm not open, again, it's just been not an issue, not open to the public, not going to be serving patrons, So that's made it quite easy for me. So my ramp is quite short, but nevertheless, they want one, so I'll get one. Also covers outdoor areas, amplified entertainment and functions, and for me, promotional events, and compliance with the Liquor Act and other laws. So this, as I said, is in a template with the Queensland Hotel Association. You can get that when you do the course with them, and they do provide you with a lot of really good information. So that I'm going to send off today, and we will then hear back in due course, and when I've heard more, I'll let you know. But again, I still don't know whether I'm going to get my liquor license or not at this stage, but hopefully I will, and we'll see what happens. All this is all on hold. Okay, I'm not doing anything more with the distillery at this particular point in time. I've got a gin recipe. I like my gin recipe. I'm just putting everything on hold until I know I can sell it. I'm still waiting on my bottles to turn up. That is a story on its own, but I'm not going to go into that now. But hopefully soon everything will click over, and we can start manufacturing and distributing. So the intent is, of course, to be able to sell it online through heartsdistillery.com.au, and also to sell it at promotional events, which I need to get permits for each event that I want to go to. I actually have to get a permit for each event, which I've got to notify OLGR 3 weeks in advance about, and apply for and pay my $74 fee or whatever it is, something along those lines. So that's in April of 2022 if you're watching this down the track. All right, well, that's it for today. Fairly short and sweet. Thank you so much for watching. If you can, please subscribe. Don't forget, we have our group on Facebook, Distilling in Australia. It's a private members group. If you have things you want to discuss, we do have that there. Yeah, have a good week, and safe and happy distilling. Stay legal, stay safe. Ciao. Distilling alcohol is illegal in Australia unless you hold the appropriate licenses and permits. I am not a lawyer, and the contents of this video are not intended to be legal advice. Do not rely on any information contained in this video, and seek your own legal professional advice before making any decisions. Be aware, the Australian Tax Office and the local law enforcement agencies will be taking interest in this channel due to its content. Please keep this in mind before posting any comments. Any comments posted are the opinion of the person posting and not of this channel. Let's get started.